Played in the Mixed Cup. Batalla de las Américas, papi. Hardwell, it took a game off of Dabo. This was back in 2021. Okay. Interesting. Got my attention. But now we're focusing on our ZvP, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Swedish Zerg player. The blue Zerg representing Root Gaming just took down Skillus in a best of 3 and poised to make a deeper and deeper run. It is SortOf. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Italian Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Bing Bong Esports. It is Azura. Let's go. The PvZs do continue. Now, what I will say regarding the last series is that SortOf did rely on some cheeky builds. If you remember, the 2 games that he beat Skillus with, it was in game 2 where SortOf rushed into a fast lair into a Ling Hydra timing where he desperately fought to kill the 4th base. Eventually he broke the 4th and then he could gain momentum from there. And in game number 3, he went for very fast Evo Chamber into +1 melee into a Bane Bust. Likewise, also hyperfixated on breaking the 3rd and the 4th base. Eventually he did, and he was able to pull off that aggression. But again, hyper-aggressive builds is what SortOf did rely on. Likewise, the lack of scouting or lack of realization of how much danger we were in is also what did cause a lot of our Protoss players, or at least Skillus, to struggle against the aggression of SortOf. We'll see if Azura can remedy that. We'll see if Azura can get eyes on SortOf and figure out what kind of build he's up against, how much aggression he's going to be under, how much pressure he's going to be under with things like, you know, fast Hydra Den, or a fast +1 melee into a Banely Nest, into a Bane Bust, or a Roach based all in. We'll see if Azura can keep up, or if SortOf gets out of control. We shall see. We at least have a bit of a better idea of how SortOf is approaching these ZvPs. What I will say though, in general, is that in a standard macro game, it's also possible that maybe SortOf against Skillus didn't favor himself in a standard macro game, which makes sense. Skillus is one of the best Protoss players in Europe, so that may have led into the decision making of SortOf and why he was hyper aggressive and went for these committed builds and borderline all-ins. It's possible that against Azura, maybe SortOf is more confident and maybe he's more willing to play standard. That can also be another factor, as Azura, he doesn't have as much prestige in the upper echelons of the European region as, you know, Skillus or Showtime or MaxPax, for example. Regardless, I'm here for it. I am ready for it. Do have our initial opener. It's going to be a Stargate opener into Oracle. Going to be harassing across the map. Gateway gets thrown down, and Azura is just settling down, calming things down. Soon to expand, take a 3rd base, and get some economic damage done across the map. Really, my eyes are mainly on SortOf. Like, after the series we just saw, my eyes are glued to SortOf here. What do you have for us? Where we going? Where we dropping? See in the chat line, why is this Duckling bouncing? Because it's excited. It's excited. It's me when I'm excited. Shaking my head. You're an animal. You're an animal. I'm just excited. As we're going for a Twilight Council and a Forge in the main base, standard follow-up here out of Azura. Is going to be a standard follow-up here, working towards Blink and +1. The Oracles haven't been too aggressive. We've been keeping our Oracles pinned back at home, but there we go. Now that we have 2 Oracles, we're moving out across the map. We throw down a Roach Warren back at home. This is a pretty early Roach Warren. This is a 420. Nice. Roach Warren timing here for SortOf. A little bit earlier than normal, but it looks like we may just be playing things safe. Feels like more of a safe Roach Warren timing than an aggressive one. Feels to be the case. Oracles dip in, they're going to be zoned away from the natural. Zoda rotating around. They're just focusing on denying creep, and we're not going for blink, we're going for charge. Okay, Azura, you have my attention. Gateway explosion behind this. We throw down 5, oh my god, 5 extra gateways. Soon to be 6 extra gateways. This is going to be an 8 gate, potentially up to 10 gate. 3 base all in. We have no gases here at the natural, no gases at the third. Mass Zealot and only Zealot on the way. Overlord Scout is attempted, but the Overlord is going to be denied as the Overlord does not get eyes on the gateway explosion. Ooh, a SortOf is in the dark, and the Zealot army is amassing. We're getting there. Now, thankfully, remember, SortOf did go for an earlier Roach Warren, so he's already got Roaches on the way. Very safe Roach Warren timing out of SortOf is ideal in this situation. Lanes and Roaches are amassing as we speak. Queens are coming together as well. Gases are being taken, all 6 gases actually, alongside the 4th base. SortOf cutting works at 60. Squeezing out some extra drones. As Lings are forced back. To shave off some of these Lings initially. We're droning. Oh, SortOf, he's droning up. He throws out an infestation, but he's teching, he's droning, which means he throws out a Hydra Den as well. He's investing into things that aren't an army. And here come the mass charge lot. The charge lots, they have arrived. And how much damage can we get done? We do have a decent amount of roaches. And is this going to be enough? It's going to be close. It's going to be close, but it looks like, yeah, we have enough roaches. We can defend. Azura, he doesn't even try to engage. He shuts down some of the Lings. Commits on some of these queens, but yeah, we have plenty of roaches here again. SortOf, he played it safe. He has an army. He deflects the push, which means he gets away with all this. He gets away with the Hive tech. Hive is on the way. We're getting ready for Lunkers. And the Charger army gets forced back. Behind this, we take 2 gases, 2 robos. We're working towards Immortals. Immortal production is on the horizon. +2 is on the way. But Azura, we need a 4th. We need a 4th base. We need to maintain our economy as well and keep up with the Zerg. But right now, SortOf has map control. He shuts down the Adepts. The Zealots have yet to deal any damage. We do split up our units. We do have a Zealot force on the left, a Zealot force on the right. We are moving out. And we'll see if Azura can split SortOf apart. Never mind, Azura doesn't like his chances. He pulls back instead, and SortOf, do you see what I see? The Lunker Den, Bobby. Lunkers are on the horizon. Hydras are amassing, getting ready for Viper Tech. The aggressive opener, the aggressive start of Azura just hasn't done enough damage, and now SortOf, he's running away with it. Now, thankfully, we are amassing Immortals, and that will help against the Lurker Tech, but it does feel like SortOf has the lead. He has the advantage right now. He's looking a lot more comfortable. And the pressure is now on Azura instead, is on the Protoss. Now we see Azura taking the 4th. This 4th is quite late. Is a late 4th base here for the Protoss, and we have Roaches getting ready to knock it down. Ay, ay, ay. SortOf, he's here, he's ready. And he dives on top of that Nexus. Oh, the probes, though, we catch the transferring workers. Probes are going down, Zealots as well. No, the High Templar exposed. We get 1, we get 2. We're gonna get all 4. 3 High Templar fall, at least 1 survives. At the same time, Zealots, they hit the 4th base. SortOf not quite in position. We are gonna get some damage done. 1 queen falls, but only the single queen. Now, at least Azura saves the Nexus. The base survives, but we lost so much in the process. As a reminder, we lost 3 High Templar. Soon to have Storm. We lost 7 probes. We lost 8 Zealots. A 9th Zealot as well. And Storm is still not quite done. We need a little bit more time for Storm to kick in. The wall! The wall's not a wall. Aha! We're doing our best hero impression. Lings, they flood into the natural, they flood into the main. SortOf knocking down these rocks and building up the Lunkers. The Lunkers, they're here! How many do we have? 8. 8 Lunkers. We have Adaptive Talents on the way. 5 more Lurkers in production. Azura is stuck at home dealing with these Ling counterattacks. Storm is now done, but SortOf is max. SortOf, he has a 60 supply lead. In this scenario, the soup doesn't lie. And this is going to be a miracle hold here for Azura. Can we pull it off? Can we survive that Lurker push? It's going to be close. A Lurker range is done. Adaptive Talon's still a couple seconds away, so SortOf doesn't want to hit an anti-timing. It's pushing in nonetheless. We're 10 seconds off. Storms are coming in. A decent storm does zone away the lurkers. Roaches and Lings, they hit the fourth. Army rotating in. Very careful movement here. Sort of at the same time, Ling Roach hits the natural. Distracting reinforcements. Keeping back those zealots. At the same time, these High Templars looking quite exposed. And we're pushing in. Oh no! The High Templar! The storms connect, but we shut them down. Decent storms on the Roaches. Very nice storms here on the Roach Army. The Roach Army crumbles. The Immortals are getting some of these lurkers. We have to escape. We have to get out of here. The lurkers, they're going down. Yeah, the lurkers are being cleaned up. Very nice fight here from Azura. Lurkers on their own. They're so vulnerable. They're so exposed. At the same time, Zealot Runby does take down 6 drones. Not bad. But again, so important that the Ling Hydra was being kept back at home. The reinforcements, they weren't able to get across the map, and SortOf, he did not evacuate those lurkers. We had to get the hell out of there, and we didn't. And now suddenly, Azura, we're in this. We defended against the Roaches, we shut down the lurkers, we have a good immortal count. The supply might be in favor of SortOf, but Azura has a lot more potential with this army. Has a lot of potential. Again, mass lurker can be deceiving. Like, you do need either Roaches in front or Ling Hydra. You do need some buffer and some support for it, otherwise it just falls apart, as we just saw. So we have a game. Wait, we have a game, Papi. Let's go. Do have a game here. Getting up to 8 lurkers, soon to be 11. But the lurker count was reset, so we buy a lot of time. Azura building up more energy here for storms. Shuts down the changelings. How many immortals do we have? 8. We have 8 immortals. Almost as many immortals as there are lurkers. Just crazy. So we have massive amount of immortal. We have archons. We have storm. I would love to see a fleet beacon. Like, now would be would have been a really good time to throw in a fleet beacon. But I guess we're hyper-fixated on just building up our army, keeping up with SortOf, as he has remaxed. Here comes the second wave. Now, if Azura can survive this second wave, then, I mean, the comeback is real. Not gonna be easy. Lurker shots going up. Oh! Storm on the Lings. 2 storms are spent. We still have 3 more storms in the chamber. We can see Azura getting ready for a flank, getting ready for a surround. Revelation on the lurkers. And this time, SortOf backs off. At the same time, Lings hit the natural. 11 probes go down. 11 workers do fall. Very nice damage dealt there at the natural base. Oh, the Prism falls 2 immortals as well. Aye, that was a big pick off. Again, without immortals, we cannot get on top of these lurkers. Pushing forward, you do force the Unsiege, the Unburrow. Lurkers back off. Lurkers do retreat. 6 more lurkers on the way. And as both armies back off, we have 15 lurkers against 7 immortals. We have double the lurker count here compared to the immortals. So things are still looking much better here for SortOf. Azura needs time. As Azura is soon to be overwhelmed. Spires on the way in case... I mean, we already have a Spire. Second Spire's on the way. Nice storm on the Lings. Still no fleet beacon out of Azura, going for a massive Ling counter... Sorry, Zealot counterattack. Hit stop right. Spine Coolers are holding on. We do have a defensive Spine Cooler. Sorry, a defensive lurker, thankfully. Revelation on the army. Morkel barely escapes. We bleed out another immortal. Bit of miscontrol there out of Azura. Not on hold position. And we're still on 8 immortals. Now we're collapsing in. Once again, we are lacking some buffer for the lurkers. Uh-oh. 28 Lings on the way, but we need those Lings. The Hydras are amassing. Storm not quite available. Yeah, we can't push into this. Up the ramp into lurkers is not going to happen. The Protoss army melts. GG gets called. We cannot break this position, and SortOf will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. SortOf will take a lead in this series. Again, Azura overextending heavily there without any storms, without any splash damage. We could not deal with the Ling Hydra. Likewise, pushing up a ramp into that kind of choke point position into all those lurkers. Oh, that was just the most ideal fight SortOf could have hoped for. And SortOf takes a lead. GG, well played. Oh, here we go. Here we go. As we are going to be settling in and getting ready for game number 2. Since I guaranteed turn in the finals, that was always guaranteed, Papi. What do you mean? Did you not see the wave of TBTs, Papi? I mean, we had some faith in Lancer. We did have some faith. Not wrong, not wrong. I had some faith in Lancer. Oh. There's only so much he could have done by himself, you know. That's the problem. He was down there on his own. Like Lancer, he needed his boys to support him. He needed Firefly, needed Jeshi as well. Needed his backup dancers, you know. In my mind, I'm picturing Lancer, Firefly, and Jeshi as like a boy band, like a C-pop boy band. Let's go. Flexing their moves. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I love them. Oh. As we are settling in. We are settling into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkione, we have our Swedish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Root Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is SortOf. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Italian Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Bing Bong Esports. Down in the series, looking to bounce back, it is Azura. And Azura had his moments. Azura did have his moments when it came to catching lurkers and shutting them down. Unfortunately, and also minimizing economic damage as well. I was impressed. With Azura's ability to defend his natural despite things getting very chaotic. But there were some earlier losses that were brutal when it came to bleeding out High Templar, bleeding out Immortals, bleeding out the Warp Prism, being denied the 4th base initially, and of course the final fight as well. It all culminated in that final fight. But we'll see if we can bounce back. We'll see if we can bring this to the ace match. I'm hoping we can. I'm hoping we can. I'm hoping we can, you know, get all 3 games out of this, but we'll see. We shall see. Are settling in. It's going to be Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener here out of SortOf. Likewise, we do have Azura getting into a gate expand into Cybercore. Everything looking as it should. Everything looking as it should. Yo, shout out to Rila Kuma in the chat. Papi, what are you playing? What are you playing in the next ESL Americas? I rarely see you in the bracket, Rila Kuma. I rarely see you in the bracket. Shaking my head, shaking my head. Este Rila Kuma. Good to see you though. Always good to see you. So we are going to be settling in. Okay, for those who don't know, Rila Kuma is a Taiwanese Zerg player. Taiwanese Zerg pro. We've casted Rila Kuma plenty of times on the channel. Always a treat. Oh my god, and we're going for a Twilight Council opener. Okay. Let's go. We are embracing the chaos here. Twilight Council is on the way. Now, do we go for a Glaive Adept opener? Do we go for DTs? Do we go for something in between and even embrace both? That is also viable. Going Glaives plus Dark Templar. Those are the 2 that come to mind. We'll see if we pull out. Actually, this looks like potentially 3-gate Glaives. Curious. What I'm referring to, I don't see a robo. There's no robo with this, and we are staying in gas. Oh, okay, not 3-gate Glaives, but we are going for the Dark Shrine. I haven't quite seen this adaptation. I'm curious how this all is piecing together here. Very fast Twilight Council into very fast Dark Shrine, faster than normal. There is no robo. So there's no Warp Prism, so there's no way to reinforce across the map. There's no way to juggle the Archons either. We're taking a 3rd. This is a macro DT opener with a fast 3rd base. Yeah, 3rd's on the way. This is not a build. Or what I should say, we cast StarCraft on a daily basis here. We've been casting StarCraft on a daily basis for the past like 5 years. I've never seen this opener before. It's very unique, very unique. Okay, so winding it back a little bit here. Because there's no Robo, there's no War Prism, there's no way to send out our DTs across the map too quickly. Robo is now thrown down after the Dark Shrine is about to finish. So it's going to be a wonky DT timing. Likewise, Archon Drop Harass is going to be delayed, as there is no Prism and delayed Robo, but very fast throw. You know, because of the delayed tech and the lack of gateways and the lack of, you know, of support, we're able to expand faster. So this is a quote-unquote macro DT build, like a very, very macro DT build. The downside is that these DTs take a long time to get across the map. Spores are on the way. We have a spore at the natural, we have a spore at the third, we have a spore in the main, we have detection everywhere. The DTs, they rock up hoping to catch the Zerg player off guard, but we have plenty of detection. Lings, they get across the map. We have no Oracle to defend, we have no Adepts to defend. The third base is under fire. We can see kind of the holes in this opener and the reason why we don't see it too often, but the base taking hull damage, oh my god. It shouldn't go down, but it's getting close. I am concerned. The base is getting quite low. We do recall back home. We do have a Robo follow-up into +1 into Immortal production. So, okay, no Archon harass, period. With this build, there are Archons, but there's no Prism. There's no way to harass across the map. So, sort of, he can freely drone. Like, he can freely drone, he can take a fourth base, he can take up into roaches, which he's already done. Lair is almost completed as well. I mean, Azura's cooking. Like, he's been cooking, Pap. He's been cooking, but yeah, this is an interesting one. So now we're going for a delayed Archon drop across the map. Gold base is on the way for SortOf. Okay, we'll see if we can get away with it. And we are going to settle down. I do prefer SortOf's position, but because SortOf was a little bit afraid as to what was going on, because it was hard to read, because of that, the droning is not ideal. We're still embracing roaches. Archons are met up with, we can focus them down. The Archons are forced back. Rocks are being cleaned up, and we will gain access to the gold to help defend. Azura is aware of the gold base, and we can apply some pressure. We can chip away at the hatchery. Oh, I like this. Infestation bit's on the way. I'm pretty sure SortOf he's thinking Swarmhost. We speak about this all the time. We've been seeing a lot of Swarmhost recently in PvZ. The reason why is if you ever get a read, if you ever realize ahead of time it's going to be Charged Archon, and it is Charged Archon, if you ever realize it's not Blink Stalkers, then Swarmhosts are ideal. Swarmhosts are ideal. We saw this out of DRG last night versus Trap. We see this like on a weekly basis, you know, at least like once a week sort of thing with this dynamic. Ooh, okay, no Swarmhost. We're going into Hydra Lurker Tech instead. Okay. No Swarmhost play out of SortOf. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but instead we're just going into Hydras. It's a little bit more secure. It's more secure. It's more macro oriented. At the same time, we do hit the gold. The gold is exposed. There's nothing here. Nothing at the gold base. Drones are going down. Oh my god, we do miss a volley there, but 7 workers fall, and we get on top of the base. The force field is real. No Ravagers. And no Ravagers knock down the force field. The base goes down, and from here we can either walk back home or recall. And we go for the recall. Very nice pickoff here by Azura. Denies the fourth. We're on even bases. Azura has a solid immortal count. And after that pickoff, I want to favor Azura here. Now, because of the tech, I'm pretty sure SortOf does not intend to commit. We're posturing, we're moving out, but... Oh, roach speed just started. Yeah, roach speed is late. So it might not be the wisest of choices to go for a counterattack. SortOf is going to be stuck at home. Yeah, he's stuck at home, he's stuck defending, he's going to be building up. This does mean that Azura could be greedy. Azura, we can, throw down second Robo, fourth base, second Forge, double upgrades, throw down a fleet beacon if we so chose to. And Azura won't be punished. Azura won't be punished if we did be hyper greedy. We're going for a Temple Archives, okay? We're not rushing into Sky Toss, embracing a ground-based army instead. We're getting there. Are getting there. Meanwhile, the Hive is done, getting ready for Hive upgrades, Lurker tech. The Vipers are on the way. With the help of the Viper, we can abduct this Prism, we can shut it down. This Prism is in danger. We don't know it. Have we scouted the hive? We have. We have scouted the hive. We're aware. Viper's now gathering energy, and the goal here should be to abduct it, to abduct and to yoink this Prism. To yoink it in, to shut it down. SortOf is maxed out, and here comes the abduct. Up! We yoink in! It's a Prism and 2 Archons. Very nice pickup. Lurker Den is done. We still need a little bit more time to get into these lurkers, and there we go. We have 2, soon to be 7 lurkers being set up for SortOf. Meanwhile, Azura, we could have seen this earlier. Stargate's now on the way. I would have loved to have seen this Stargate at the same time that we took a 4th. At the same time, we don't really know, like... No, actually, I was going to say we didn't know how tech-heavy SortOf was going to be. We scouted the hive, though. Like, we saw the hive, we saw the slow roaches, we saw the 4th and would-be 5th base. I feel like we had the information we needed to take the risk and to go into the Stargate earlier. Regardless, now it's on the way, and we'll see if Azura can defend, survive, and get to that point. See if we can get there. Roach is pushing in, getting on top of the Immortals. Oh! Not quite getting the first Immortal. Shaving off some shields. Zealot run on the left-hand side. At the same time, SortOf moving in on the right. Pushing into Storms. Never an easy thing to do. SortOf is unburrowed. Oh my god. Calm down as we do catch a would-be lurker. Viper has to back off. At the same time, Zealot run by, catches reinforcements, 4 drones go down. And even going for the Roach Warren. Interesting choice. The lurkers! Oh my god. Bit of a move command there from Azura. Pushing within range of the lurkers. Roach Warren does go down. Again, an interesting pickoff. We're kind of done with roaches. Like, I don't think we really intended to make any more. It's all about Ling, Hydra, Lurker, Viper at this point. As the Immortals are going to recall. It will be saved. At this point, we do want to get rid of our roaches. Spire's on the way. 2 more Stargates. Do we have a fleet beacon? We should have a fleet beacon at this point. It's not quite done. Lings, they go for the High Templar. What do we want? We get 1 High Templar. We get 2 and an Immortal as well. Very nice catch. We get 2 Immortals. Oh my. Almost. There we go. A very nice catch here from SortOf. That was 3 Immortals, 2 High Templar. Ay. Expensive losses for Azura. And now we get the Fleet Beacon, now we get +1 air attack. Again, I do think that this Skydra's transition is delayed for Azura, which means SortOf has more momentum, has a longer period here where he has map control, and where he can make use of this army. Once again, Lurkers caught on burrowed. None of them go down. They do get softened up. Gonna have to back up. How many Lurkers do we have? 19 Lunkers. That's a lot of Lunkers, Papi. That's a lot of Lunkers. I believe the Spire has completed. Yeah, we have a Spire. We could do with a 2nd Spire and double upgrades. Greater Spire. For now, just the 1. Viper coming in for a yoink. Ling counterattack is being shut down. Nice defense here from Azura. Oh! Get the Oracle. The Oracle is sniped. Oracle goes down. Azura rotating over. So rotate over likewise. Azura maintaining himself. Carrier production has begun. Still just begun though. Both players are maxed out. Ooh, the spine shots though. Those lurker volleys are insane. Getting within range of the base. At the same time, we're going for a big counterattack. Headed for the natural. Can SortOf keep up? We have no detection. Lurkers are going ham. At the same time, the base is under fire. Spine shots going up. Azura pushing into these lurkers. Oh, this is not the play. We take so many shots to the face. Ay. Yeah, Azura just underestimating just how many lurkers there were. At the same time, the counterattack gets cleaned up. Lings, they come in for a surround. And we don't quite get an Immortal, but regardless, a very nice defense here out of SortOf. And he's gaining ground. We're getting on top of the base, and the Nexus will fall. We're even catching another Immortal. Azura bleeding off too many units here. The base goes down, and now we can get the hell out of here. We just unburrow and waddle away. At the same time, a Ling Hydra pushing towards the natural. We're pulling Azura apart. Out of position. If you recall, Recall is on cooldown, and Lings, they're flooding into the natural, they're flooding into the main. Lurkers towards the gold. And Azura just can barely keep up. Nice storms. Very nice storms on the Lurkers, but we get 19 probes and counting. These are cracklings. I mean, they've got Adrenal. They only have +1 melee. Not ideal Lings, but regardless, 23 probes go down. Lurker into the right-hand side. Goal base is denied. And we're just pulling Azura apart. She just cannot keep up. Not anymore. Unable to get into Sky Toss. Sort of just having his way with him. Meanwhile, Corruptors are now on the way, getting ready for the eventual carriers. Ultra Cavern as well. We shut down the Immortals. And we're going on top of the fort. There's barely an economy left. Now, we do respect these carriers. We back off. The carriers have arrived. So SortOf, he backs off. He's waiting for reinforcements, waiting for those Corruptors. And Azura's all in. At this point, there's nothing left here at the fourth. There's barely any saturation here at the third. Nothing in the natural, nothing in the main. We have to commit. One way or another, the game is about to end. It's not looking too good here with the Protoss. Corruptors, they go for the dive. Powerbomb on the carrier. GG gets called, and SortOf will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, SortOf will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. My condolences to Azura. Had an interesting opener at the start of the game, is what I will say. Very interesting opener, and had some moments. He had some moments both in Game 1 and Game 2, but was unable to bring it all together in the end. SortOf did pull Azura apart. Azura did feel like his Skytoss transition was quite late, was quite delayed, so it was never able to really embrace the Skytoss, and in the lead up to it, again, was pulled apart by the more mobile army of the Zerg of SortOf. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations! With that, SortOf does advance on, and do we have an opponent ready and waiting? I believe we do. I believe we have our next series getting ready for us.